Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you all so much for agreeing to participate in my panel discussion. As you know, this panel is Real Talk for Men by Women. All of you have had an opportunity to listen to the men's panel, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, just a few ground rules. That's very, very important. And this is something that I've learned from not just the men panel, but also from talking to my videographer, Mr. Malcolm. It's men don't communicate to us sometimes because we don't listen, or they think we don't listen. They think that if they start voicing out their needs and concerns, and we don't like what they're saying, we're going to argue with them and we're going to debate. And then they shut down because what's the point? But like I was telling you all before the camera started rolling, I was looking for some ideas and some questions to ask because this is a panel discussion for men and I'm a woman. So I'm like, what do men want to know about us? And I'm Googling last night and I couldn't find any websites. And so when I asked my videographer Malcolm, I'm like, what's going on? Why can't I find it? And he reiterated what I just said. They don't ask a lot of questions. They don't really feel comfortable opening up because they're afraid of how we're going to respond. So through this panel, we're going to teach men that we are listeners because we want them to communicate to us, but we're going to also tell them what they need to know about us. Panel discussion, men's panel discussion, they told us a lot of stuff, a lot of which I did not know. And so now we get to tell them, so they can stop saying, oh, y'all so complicated. I said to them, and I'm going to say it again, it's not that we're so complicated, it's just you all use that as an excuse to not slow down to get to know us. So this will be the opportunity for men to get to know us. And if you all are coming from varied background, varied ages, we have different personalities. So they will get a sprinkle of all type women. Like I said, well, all type black women. And so they can't know, at least our mates cannot come in and say, Neibra, I don't know, are you too complicated? Neibra, I don't know what you're about. Yes, you do, because you heard me on the panel. You heard me. So now if you're not doing the things, it's because you don't want to. And that's what I'm trying to do is bridge these couples together because as y'all know, I'm a divorce attorney. So I make my living with relationships falling apart. But I want to bridge the relationships because if we can battle this communication thing, we can learn how to talk and learn how to listen, then there'll be a lot of more relationships that have been salvaged. And children will be happy. I think the world will be a better place if parents get on the same accord. But if men stop listening to us because we're too complicated, and women keep nitpicking and arguing with the guys, we're going to always continue to do that. So, again, thank you all for agreeing to be in the hot seat, to be teachers and lecturers. I'm going to start with some brief introductions. I'm not going to introduce you all because we're all strong women. We get to introduce ourselves. So, but I'm going to add something to it. I want you to introduce yourself, but in introducing yourself, I also want you to address this question, which is the first question I asked the men. So, your husband, boyfriend, mate, they don't really understand what type of mode we're in when we come home from work, whether we're mothers or business women or housewives, it doesn't matter. So, tell me what things you would want your mate to know that he can do for you to make you feel good when you come home from work. So introduce yourself and then address that. You want to go first? Just because I'm right-handed.
My name is Dee Dee. I'm a victim advocate.
And make sure to speak loud enough because the camera's all the way over.
Okay, my name is Dee Dee. I'm a victim advocate with a police station. What I would like if after a long day of being on the scene with a victim, a kid, someone has gotten killed, I would like to come home and first embrace me with a hug and ask me how am I doing, and maybe have dinner ready sometime. And I ask what we're eating. Just go home.
Like, yeah, you walk in the door and the first thing he's like, what we eating?
Yes. Sometimes tell me what we eating.
That's good. I like that too.
My name is D'Angela Wiggins. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I reside in Tampa, Florida. And my answer to that would be, I would like for my mate to ask me how my day was going. Ask me, well, actually have dinner ready if he's been home all day, versus me having to come in the house and he's asking me, okay, what are we going to eat? Okay, you've been here all day, why haven't you cooked?
Right.
You know, and just pretty much just ask me how my day was, give me a hug, embrace me, things of that sort.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Bree Cooper, and I'm a claims adjuster on one part of my life, and I also own a lingerie and beauty consulting company. And when I come home, I really want to be met with, hey Bree, I'm home, you know, and a kiss somewhere.
Somewhere. Up or down, left or right.
Yeah, that's me, so.
I am, my name is Deidre. I'm a real estate agent and I'm a real estate investor. I rehab homes. I've seen in my previous relationships and my current relationships, I talk to my significant other throughout the day. So it's not kind of like a surprise when we walk through the door, like, what do you want? Because we discussed that. Anybody that knows me, I'm like a germaphobe, so the first thing I want is a shower. So don't, like...
Get away.
It's
like, I walk in the door, get away.
Any outdoor clothes, and I want to get a shower. And then for me, it's just watching a TV show. Just turning on the TV for something that we like together, like Jeopardy or something, and just relaxing. After a shower, it's kind of what we do. And I enjoy it.
That's good. That's good.
My name is Tammy. I am from Tallahassee. I am the owner of Tammy's Nighttime Treasures. I sell lingerie, sex toys, and all that good stuff. And I host passion parties. I've been doing that for about 11 years now. What I would like to be greeted with is pretty much the same thing most of the ladies have already said. How was your day? I love hugs and kisses. You know, I come from a touchy-feely family, so, you know, we hug and kiss all the time, so kind of expect that. He's pretty good with that, but the food part is definitely a big thing. It's like, I don't like the, what are we eating? And it's on me all of the time, to figure it out. Like, can you figure it out sometime, you know? Let me go with the flow. And that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Hi, my name is Sheila and I'm from Tallahassee as well. My occupation is I'm a community engagement coordinator, so I do a lot of community activism here in Tallahassee as well as community outreach. For me, it's pretty much what everybody has said. Greet me with a hug, but I also gonna take it a step further. Sometimes when I get there, have a card. I'm big on cards and signature things, so I would like that, as well as sometimes have dinner ready.
And see, it's amazing the consensus among us. I don't cook, so
I don't either.
You better have dinner ready if we're gonna eat everybody. But the consensus,
I can coordinate,
right?
But I don't cook.
Exactly. I'll stop by, pick up something, I'll order something. DoorDash is great in my house, but I'm learning to cook, so let me say I'm developing. But I appreciate how the consensus was among us. We want to be greedy. We want a man to ask us how our day was. And so the simple fact that you all said it kind of put it out there, guys, that you all may not be doing that. Y'all may not be just asking us how was our day, because you all think that your days are more important or more significant, or your jobs are more significant, but you have to ask us. Now, the guys, when I was talking to them in response to this, that the next section went into communication. So when you all listened to the men's panel, you understood that they want to listen to us when we are communicating what's going on in their day. But they don't want us to be too long-winded with it. Now they sugarcoated it. They said, oh yeah, we'll listen. But then one of the guys said, Raheem said, oh, I'll be watching the TV sometimes. So how does it feel when you have something that's going on, even if it's what men consider petty gossiping, But how does it make you feel as a woman if you're talking to your man and he's watching TV, he's walking around the house? How does that make you feel? Anybody?
Make you feel like you're being disregarded. And it's, what you're talking about is not that important until they won't talk about it.
Yeah, I would be offended. To be totally honest, it's probably gonna turn into an argument or something, because I'm bothered now, because I'm trying to talk to you and you're not paying, it appears that you're not paying me any attention because you're watching TV instead of looking at me or trying to engage with me, and I want to get mad, to be honest. And that's when we're gonna have an issue.
And I feel like it's disrespectful, first of all, because when you're trying to talk to your mate, you want their undivided attention. So if they're watching the TV or on their phone scrolling, they might be able to hear you, but they're not really hearing you.
Right.
Well, the guys say, and I have to play the guys' role in here. So the guys say, we're listening. We don't listen the way that you all listen. We're here. I think Raheem was the one, he says, the TV is on and I'm flipping the channels, but I'm listening. But what they need to understand is your actions, your body language is what we're reading.
Right.
But I think
Right.
I'm okay if they're able to regurgitate some of the stuff
Okay.
that I say. If they're able to be like, I need your opinion on that, and they're able to respond, I'm okay if you're doing this and this and this. But you're not able to respond to something asked, then it's like, okay, you're not listening to me then.
Yeah.
But it's okay if they're moving around the house doing whatever but please respond, that's all. And then sometimes when it's important to me, because I could just go on and on and on about my day, I say, okay, this is the important part to listen to.
Yeah.
And then if you stop that, I'm fine with that. But the other stuff, you can move around as long as you can hear some of my stuff.
Yeah.
I try not to bring whatever happened home because I like my house to be zen.
Yeah.
Come to me with all that mess. I don't, flag on the plate. No.
Yeah.
No. So if he's bopping around and I'm talking, he knows whoever my him is. He's gonna know that I'm probably bopping around too. I'm in my kitchen or in my bedroom. I'm probably talking to you on the phone because you're most likely not in my house.
Right.
But if somebody was significant enough to be in my home, then I'm probably all over the house anyway, and I don't really care. You could be watching TV because I'm probably not talking for your engagement. I'm talking because I need to get it off.
You need to get it off your chest.
I just need to fuss for a minute. Let me fuss. And if you know me and you're with me enough to be in my home, then you're allowing me to fuss because just let her get it off her chest. She don't really want engagement from you anyway. Until I say, and man, you know what? I need you to,
I need you to stop and listen right now. So what would you tell him? I mean, would you say, do we tell them, I need you to sit right beside me, I need you to give me eye contact, and I need you to listen to me for how long I talk? I mean, what do you say? Because
Eye contact.
Yeah.
eye contact.
I'm big on
For a minute. I just need eye contact for a minute while I tell you this.
Okay.
And I try to preference how long it's going to be
Mhm.
so they can stay engaged.
So eye contact.
Yeah,
Eye contact.
if it's serious, if it's something that's really serious, yeah, I want you to sit.
It's okay.
And yeah, we need to do this together.
Mhm.
But if you're just venting about something that happened, that's a little different. I don't need that then.
I've
Okay.
learned the easiest way to get a man to do or hear you. There are two places. The toilet, because he's stuck there.
He's stuck. You go in the bathroom with
And
him
the car.
in the car.
We riding, let's go do blah, blah, blah. And I know I got your undivided attention because my radio is off. The person driving controls the radio.
Right?
Radio is off. And I'm blessed enough that I have a controller on my steering wheel. I'm talking to you right now.
And it's interesting because the guy said that. Like, one of the guys said, she could talk, when we go on a road trip,
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
best time.
that's the best time. That's what they said.
That's the best time, because you're there, if you're going to Tampa, that's what, 4 hours? And
I'm
once you
also
stop-
taking that negative
Yep.
energy out of my home.
Mhm.
Because I only have so much Palo Santos and I just cannot. I just cannot. I just cannot do negative energy. I don't want whatever bad happened, I do not want it in my house. Because I want to come home and know that home is where the heart is. Home is where my peace is. And when you're in my home, if you're that guy, I want you to know that it's a safe place. We don't have to rehash whatever happened at work. Because if I didn't like her at work, I still don't like her when I go back to work.
Exactly.
You can't fix her. I mean, what you gonna do? Run to the job and be like, girl, I know you wasn't all in my girl face. Or dude, I know you wasn't all. And so I tell you, no, that dude was all in my face.
Yeah.
I need you to fix that.
So,
But I mean, it's not gonna happen.
the guy said, well, we know this. They didn't have to tell us that. I think we know guys by nature are fixers. Women, we're more emotional. So like Bree said, we want to get stuff off of our chest. And sometimes we're just ventilating. Other times we want an answer. But guys, based on what they're telling me, they're zooming in to find a solution immediately. So how do we communicate to a guy, I just want you to listen, I'm ventilating, versus I want you to fix it?
Just tell them.
And just tell them
Just
that
tell
I
them in
just,
the beginning.
yeah.
How do you tell him?
Okay, well, today, I need you to listen to this. This is very important. But if it's just, I'm just venting, I won't say it.
Okay.
But if it's important, not from the beginning, no, I need you to sit, listen, and turn TV off.
And then you tell him that, okay, he's listening. Are you telling him also, I need your opinion on this? Should we tell him that too?
Yes,
Okay,
because you want something done.
okay,
I mean, because that's a part of communication. I mean, we can't have them assuming. So
okay.
that part, we have to let them know. I mean, that's how I communicate.
Okay.
Whether it's male or female, hey, listen, Neibra, I need you to listen to this. This is really serious. But if I'm just venting, I'll just be talking.
Okay,
On a daily basis, I think I say, I need your help. I need your help
Mhm.
in a conversation, so
Okay.
they know.
I think it's important to let him know that you need him, because I am so independent. There's nothing you can do for me that I can't do for myself, and I literally mean that. But when I say, and I've learned in a previous relationship, if you don't let him know that he's needed, he'll find somebody else who needs him.
Right.
So I have learned to create things that I need that I really don't even care if you fix it, but I'll fix it myself.
yeah, just so he can feel needed.
Just so he can feel, because like you say, they are fixers, a real man, and they are hunters, they are gatherers, and they bring it home. And so I have learned through a lot of error, not really trial, but a lot of error, just say, babe, I need you to do blah, blah, blah. And when you preface it with, I need you, then they're like something goes in their ear, what? She needs me. Really?
Like they're Superman, you know what I'm saying? I need you to help me with something, you know what I'm saying? That makes them feel macho, but she needs me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's important to make him feel.
Kind of stroke that ego.
Yeah.
Right. That's all it is. Their ego.
Yeah, because a lot of us females we're just strong. And like you said, we do what we need for ourselves.
And it's not by choice. I don't think it's strong by choice.
Some of it's by default.
Right,
Yeah.
it's because and it's sad but true, but, and I'm not gonna go into the whole daddy issue thing, but I will tell you, from my experience in my culture, a lot of it came because we had mothers who had to fill in blanks. We had grandmothers who had to fill in the blank because daddy was, I don't even know, I don't see you. He's somewhere. So we fill in the blank. And it can be to a fault because guys are like, listen, Shaquante, and I hope there ain't nobody named Shaquante listening, but Shaquante need everything. Shaquante need you to fix her peanut butter and jelly sandwich because she don't have whatever. And this is why you look at some guys and be like, well, how you ended up with her? Because you're everything I would want in a guy, but you're over there with Miss, I can't.
Okay, hold that thought for a minute, because we're going to come back to that, because that's how I ended it with the guys, with the strong, independent women, the strong black women thing. And I'm going to end it with that conversation. So hold that thought for a minute. It's that independence. And it's funny how our conversation immediately led to that. Immediately led to that. But guys, knowing, purposely, I put it at the end because I knew they were never going to get to the strong black woman. That is not something in their concept, but I did put it to the end. So hold that thought. So going back just to wrap up the communication part. So if you got a guy who basically is a fixer and a woman who has a need to ventilate, because guys, y'all, we agree guys don't ventilate. like we do.
Not to us.
So you got a fixer and you got a ventilator. The guys say, I'm gonna listen, but not that long. And then they said, not every day.
Right.
Because if you bring the same issue, it doesn't have to be work issue, but if you bring the same issue to me every single day, then I'm going to look at you like you ain't fixed that yet. Then I'm going to zoom in and fix it. So, what I heard was, we're going to communicate to them, honey, I need you to stop moving around, turn the TV off, and listen. Right? Right? We agree?
Right.
Second, I heard, we're going to let them know when we want them to fix it. If we don't want a solution-based, if this is a solution-based conversation, we're going to let you know, right? Right?
Yes.
So what else?
Sometimes it really is. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to allow me to use you as my sounding board.
There you
Because
go.
I can work through my own problem once I've said it. And you're that person that I'm allowing to,
To be that
hear.
sounding
Yeah, because to me, my significant or insignificant other is supposed to be.
We're going to work on that, y'all. So, wait a minute, hold on. So, the third thing is, you're going to communicate. Sweetheart, I want you to listen. I want you to turn the TV off. But in this particular situation, I don't need you to tell me the solution. I need you to be my sounding board.
Right. I need you to hear me.
And hear me and help me figure it out. Whatever it takes, ask me questions, help me brainstorm. But don't fix my problem. Because if you, sweetheart, I know you can fix it, but you're going to fix it your way. But I want to fix it my way.
I need to work through this.
So,
But I'll give you multiple choices and help me figure out which one to choose.
Right.
Life is about choices.
Right. And so that's three things. So what else do we need to tell the guys? Because they're struggling with it. They're like, how long we got to listen? Y'all can go on and on and on. So what else? So anything else that we need to tell them?
And listen without being, making me the bad person. Like if I come to you with a problem that I'm having at work or having with a family member, and the first thing you say, well, you should have did, or you said, or you was wrong. Like, no, I don't need you to give me your advice or your opinion.
Of me.
Just
I need you to
listen.
be on my side.
Just listen. Yeah.
There you go. I like that. I like that because you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the first thing they do, guys zoom in and be like, well, Neibra, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
Mm-hmm.
And then we automatically get defensive.
Yes.
So then we gotta tell them,
Mm-hmm.
please don't judge me.
Mm-hmm.
You may not agree with how I handled it. You may not agree to what I said, but don't judge me. I don't need any judgment. What I need for you to do is listen.
Yes.
I'll tell you if I need a solution. This is not one of the times I need a solution. I just want you to be a sounding board. And I don't need your judgment.
Sometimes I want a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Support.
Sometimes I want you,
Yes.
oh, well, you did a great job. Or I'm glad you did it that way.
Oh, you want to
Yeah.
know?
Right. Sometimes you truly want a cheerleader, and you don't want to have to go to your female best friend for that cheer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want that guy to, there's something different about your male party cheering you on.
That's important.
Yes, that is what it trumps every female friend you have.
Mhm.
It's something to be said about your guy saying, good job.
We just want to have it back. Y'all just right around.
Right.
And that's funny because you all are like, yo, read my notes. That's exactly where I was going, intimacy. I heard 5 guys talk about intimacy. I'm 51. I don't think I ever heard a man talk about intimacy until I got on that panel. I'm 51. Yes, I'm 51, all right. I never heard men talk about, have you all heard, your guys
No,
use the word intimacy?
no.
I mean,
Not that word.
they don't, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, that word. Do they use that word at the house?
No.
In any relationship you have?
Vocabulary.
No.
I don't know how to spell it.
I was like, and that's why I was looking at them and I'm like, but the strange thing about it, they knew the word, they said the word, and every one of the guys had their definition of intimacy. And that shocked me because it's apparently something in them and something that they're living, they're just not speaking it. So, just gonna leave where you're going. They said, I wrote down the words that they said. They said, intimacy is not sex for them. It's not sex. It has nothing to do with sex. These are the words they used. They said, completeness. I want my woman to complete me. I want to feel like she completes me. I want peace in my relationship. I want security in my relationship. I want a relationship where there's a clear understanding. We're all on the same accord. I want oneness. All of these things they said, and I'm looking at them like, intimacy is not sex with you all. So, am I the only one that thought that guys relate intimacy with sex?
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
A lot of guys feel like intimacy is sex, but to a woman it's not. It's about, you cuddling her, y'all watching TV together, you buying flowers, you cooking together in the kitchen. That builds up that intimacy for the woman, you know what I'm saying, for her man.
Right. I think most of us definitely don't equate sex with intimacy. I mean, it's like a form.
Right. A form of
intimacy, but for me, it's the touchy-feely stuff. It can be either that or we chilling together, watching TV, whatever it is, we decide we want to watch and talking about it, or just doing nothing, but just being together, doing nothing in particular. Like she said, it could be in the kitchen together.
It could be
I'm cooking and you start washing the dishes, kind of thing.
Pillow talk.
Yeah,
Best conversations and things, decisions made at pillow talk.
To me,
everybody's relaxed.
an ultimate intimacy is when your guy breaks down that wall.
Right,
That
that's like the
break.
secretness.
Yeah, you pull that break and I hear what your tender point is. You're going to get the other intimacy if you start breaking. You pull a break down.
Break down his walls or your walls?
No, my wall.
His wall.
My wall,
So when he opens up
When
to
he
you on those things about his childhood or something like that,
Yeah.
that's intimacy to you all.
Yeah, that is a turn on.
Woo.
It will.
If he tell me what who hurt him when he was a child, if he pulled just one brick, just one, I'll chip away at mine. But if he pulls one brick, it's something about a guy who will tell you his backstory.
Yeah.
Without any form of, I can't tell you that because you're gonna judge me.
Right.
No, I'm here with you because there's something about you I like. I want
Right.
to hear who hurt you because I'm gonna beat him up.
Decades later.
Right. I'm coming for them. Like I'm sitting in for you, sir. But it's something about that. Like I call it mind sex. Mind sex will get you the other, but that form of intimacy to me is the ultimate. Cuddling me, that's cute. I'm gonna get that anyway. Going in the kitchen with me, we not going in there. What's that? Do we have one of those? I don't know.
Well, guys said, because when I was talking to them, this is combining the intimacy and the communication, they said if they come home and they're opening up to you, whether it's about work or feelings or whatever, they say they don't do it because we see them as weak. And I'm like, what? They said we see them as weak.
And I need to see you as well.
And they were adopting it around. They was like, yeah, I think Brahim said, man, if I come home and I'm talking about my days, and I can see my girl, my wife said, oh, he's so bitchy. Damn, he bitchy. I can't talk about my day because so bitchy. He's so busy talking about his.
No,
So-
I like that.
I like that too.
Who made you mad today?
Right.
I'm telling you, like.
So you all like that. You're
Right, it's communication.
Yeah, we're bonding
Right.
now.
And that's the key. It's communication.
I
And
want
that's
your
like
Achilles heel.
a big issue overall. Everybody have, different personalities, of course, we know that, but for a person to feel like anybody else, male or female, is being weak because they're expressing, their true feelings.
I don't think you're in the right relationship.
Yeah, you're in the right
I think something's wrong with that, in my opinion. Something's wrong with that. You should be able to say how you feel, regardless whether you're male or female, and not have the other person think, or she weak, or
Judging.
he weak, or always complaining, or whatever. I mean, how are you gonna know? Because my thing is, and I say it a lot, is you can't expect a person to know how you feel or what you need unless you tell them. Ain't no mind readers.
Right.
You leaving stuff up for assumption, and if you assume wrong, then what? Somebody gonna be mad or disappointed because it's like, well, I don't know, you didn't tell me, so I just assumed you meant, whatever, talk.
So men are
Say
not,
what you need
so
to say.
men who open up, like when they get home from work, they open up to you. At any point, do you all see them as weak?
No.
No.
I see me as your partner.
Anyone,
I just see if my guy is going to talk to me about the things that show his vulnerableness, to me that shows me that we're in a real relationship.
That's intimacy.
Yes.
What are you gonna say?
and you want them to know that you care,
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about, how my day was. I want to know how your day was too, so we can kind of fix the problem and take some of that worry off of him as well.
Okay. So the Mars Venus. Okay, so we want them to open up to us because that seals that bond with us. That's intimacy with us.
Intimacy.
You show me you're my friend.
They said we don't, because they're fixers and they're protectors, they're our security blanket. Manly men don't come home and let that out because it shows when they come home, this is how he said, and I like Harold how he explained it to me. He said, Neibra, we're tackling the world to protect our household. And so we want to deal with all of our struggles out there with the fellas. When we come home, we want you all to think that the world is perfect in y'all's bubble because y'all's house is the castle. If I bring, and this is from Harold's standpoint, the man's standpoint, if I bring you all of the struggles that I'm going through, then because women are emotional, you're going to start worrying. So if he says, if at work his boss is giving him a hard time, and he may be losing his job, when he come home and be like, babe, this is what my boss is doing, my boss is mistreating me, you automatically start thinking, he about to lose his job, how we gonna pay the rent, how we gonna do this, I'm gonna have to take on a second job and all that. Isn't that true though? That's true.
I don't have that
That
worry.
needs to
I
be
mean,
communicated.
for me, and I can't speak for all women, but women who think like me, if my guy is telling me that, hey, I'm in a crazy position, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have that opportunity, because you ain't losing your job, boo. Like, that's not happening. And not because I worry about our bills getting paid, because my bills don't be paid. But at the end of the day, I want you to know, we got this. Like I said in the beginning, I believe in two-headed monsters. Like, when you're my partner, you have to be my friend. And you have to be able to tell me what hurt you today, who bothered you today, who irritated my boo today.
But if he's saying, I don't want to share that with y'all, because
Who are you sharing it with then?
Right.
The fellas.
No.
That's what they
no.
say. They
But
call
you
their
need-
fellas.
That's the
We
one who
need to
said
be
he
best
He would call his brother or somebody on the way home to
Right.
dump whatever
Yep.
he needed to
Mhm.
dump out, and I don't.
But what's wrong with that?
I mean,
Okay.
that's his mentality, his opinion, and that's all fine and dandy. That may work for his household,
Right.
but like I say, everybody's different. So I
Right.
guess you just have to figure out how you and your partner best communicate. What's best for the two of y'all? 'Cause like I say, what the stuff that he said may work for him and them,
Mhm.
but it may not work for anybody
Well,
else.
based on what we're saying, it probably ain't working because it's probably not being communicated.
Right. So again, I have to agree with everybody else. We're supposed to be, like she said, that two-headed monster. If you want to talk to Raymond, that's fine. But you need to be coming to talk to me because you're not losing your job because we in this to win it. So we don't think of something else. We
gonna come up with something.
We have to go in.
And you ain't living with Raymond.
Right. I need to know.
You have to think of something else. Hey, look, well maybe it's time for you to part ways with that job and let's go do this what we discussed previously.
So how do we tell them then? I mean, we're telling them through this panel that we want y'all to bring them. We don't want y'all to hang out with Raymond and talk to Raymond and then come home and act like everything's. So what do you say? Give me an example of what we say. How do you communicate to your man that, because now you know he talking to Raymond on the way home. And there may be some things going on in his life that we don't know anything about. So what do you say? When you go home today, what do you say?
Mine talks to me, so.
Good. Good.
You're blessed in that. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
Good.
most guys just don't. And I mean, and I've had the conversation until I was probably gray in the face, you know, like, babe, you can talk to me. Like, and I appreciate that you're talking to Raymond. What did Raymond say?
Yeah, let me know what Raymond said. Make sure it's on the same accord from my Neibra.
What Raymond said, because Raymond might not be your friend by the end of the day, especially when you're talking about, you know, life choices. But tell me what Raymond said. You know, like, oh, what's going on? You know, how was work today? Work was terrible. Because you can tell me work was terrible. But, you know, oh, I might lose my job. Babe, no, you will not. You know, oh, I had the worst lunch today. Well, what made it so bad? You know, oh, I asked these people to give me a chicken sandwich, and Burger King is out of chicken, like they always are. You know,
that bitter lady stuff that he was like, why she wasting my time talking about Burger King chicken? All right, so
I think it's important for them to just know that I want to be your best friend. I don't want you to have another best friend. We're here together because I anticipated being your best friend. Because if we ain't best friends, why are you here?
while we're here.
Right.
That's why I say it's for better or for worse.
Right. So it has to be established in the beginning before we get to this point and he's communicating more with Raymond than with you.
And so that's something that they got to work on, but we got to work on.
Right.
Because if the natural tendency of men, which we know, to be a protector, provider, protector, all this, to protect their woman from all of the dangers and all the bad things in the world, that's their natural tendency. And our natural tendency is we're nurturers. So how am I going to nurture you if you don't bring it home to me? But we know men are not going to figure this out. So we know that we have to, at the beginning of the relationship, like you say, we have to say to them early on, before even you fall in love, I want to know what you're going on in your day.
And I can handle it.
And I can handle it. I like that. I can handle it. Because they don't think we can handle it.
Right.
Right.
Some
I can
guys are
handle
not gonna tell you though, regardless of if you tell them all day, they're not gonna say, oh, well, this is what's going on. But if you're paying attention to your guy, you should be able to tell by his demeanor and his attitude. And then that's when I would say, this works for me. What's wrong? I could tell something is on your mind. So what's going on? Because then you're making them feel like I can talk to you now.
Right.
You're paying attention. I have your undivided attention, and then we'll start talking. That's it.
And then we don't get emotional. We
Yeah.
don't start worrying.
And then accusing.
Right.
You did.
Right,
Yeah.
same stuff that you said he would do to you, we gotta make sure we don't do it back to him. We like, well, why'd you do that? Well, when you going in late all the time? Well, maybe you should have, you should have called your boss a jackass.
I know, I mean, even to tap off of that, I think that letting him know, like, when she said, I can tell there's something wrong. First, it takes time to get to the point that you can tell that. But because you did this, and I have noticed that when you do this, call them out on what they've done. Like I always tell, you know, people, I can tell when you're lying. How can you tell they're lying? Because people do certain things all the time. And I'll point out to them, well, when you lying, you always do a certain little thing. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want you to start
Fixing it.
Right.
I want to fix it at work, but I'll fix it with me.
So, I can, if I say I can tell something's wrong, ain't nothing wrong. But if you say,
But then you're doing to him
what
we just said we didn't want to do.
So you can't just do it that way. But I think that you have to find with your own person, and each person is different. You have to figure out how to convey to him that, you know, well, babe, we've been together long enough that I can tell
I
when
can
you're
tell,
upset.
right.
Something has upset you. Not something's wrong, because it's going to be, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Something has upset you, and I can see that.
And babe, you kind of, I mean, I love it. I like that masculine side, but you kind of get aggressive when you talking. You know, it's like we gotta humble down a little bit when we telling him. You want to tell him you got some attitude issues, you got some anger issues or whatever, but you don't want him to feel judged.
Right.
So you be like, babe, now you know that works at the house, but that don't work at your job. So maybe we need to work on how you gonna communicate to your boss that you got issues with him other than the way you just did it. And make it funny to him or make him be
Exactly.
like, wow, I didn't even realize I do that.
Yeah, it's in the presentation. I say that a lot too. You can say just about anything to anybody if you present it the right way.
Right way.
I had to learn to do that.
Non-judgmental way.
Yeah, I had to learn to do that with my daughter, you know, because she has strong personality. You know, you just have to know.
Yeah.